this is the part 2. Now, just draw a line here. Make sure that I pen. Okay. And once I finish this part of regarding to the human body, so we start working on memory. So the memory in the brain. Okay, the idea of the memory, the brain, and there are different areas in the brain that are responsible to different parts of memory. They are interconnected. They are codependent. But what was important for us is to understand that there are basically two types of memories, which is the memories about things, and memory in regards to and memories on how to do things. And to make this clear distinction, when we learn, because it's about learning, when we learn about facts. It can be facts, big F here. Or we learn about skills. And we need to understand this, at least having a rough idea about these two different types of learning, two different types of memory, which they are called semantic or declarative and non-declarative type of memories. Declarative type of memory. So that's what we need to know in terms of, because we are skill, we teach skill. We are teaching skill, like a big S here. Skill. We're teaching how to do jiu-jitsu. And to teach how to do jiu-jitsu, we have to take into consideration how we are going to transmit, to pass the information, how we are going to help, another way to say, to support the students to acquire these skills. Okay, so there are even two different approaches there. The knowing about things, it's in the realm of semantics, of words, of beliefs, of theories, okay, about. And knowing how to, it's a different type of knowledge, of learning, because it doesn't require, the semantics is procedural, is us doing, it's us acting. Okay, this is thinking about, we are thinking about things, and this is acting. We are most concerned with acting, actually teaching how to do things. But of course, there is always a part of knowing about things that we may use as well. In Jiu-Jitsu, there's something interesting. There are words that we use in Jiu-Jitsu, and go to seminars and tutorials, and people I'm gonna teach you, there's a concept. Now this is very this is very declarative in nature, because a concept is an idea. I want to teach you a concept. Let's put C. Concept. It is declarative in nature, because a concept is about something. Okay, so we are talking about the declarative memory. You're talking about not about skills per se. Okay, because skills, they live in another realm. It doesn't mean that it's not important to know how to explain things so that it has a role, because we may have to give a theoretical explanation, a historical explanation, a conceptual explanation on what we're doing. We have to explain why. We are teaching how. We are teaching how to. But we also have to be concerned, we have to be take into consideration why we do what we do. Why? And there's another layer, which is the context. We do it. Okay. So how, what, and when. And this, it includes both, I put a big D here, declarative and non-declarative entity. Okay, about things and how to do things. However, we need to focus mainly on skill acquisition. So if we have let me make a circle here. Let's imagine that I have the whole jiu-jitsu. How much about and how much how is within this spider jiu-jitsu pie? Okay, how much? Let's imagine that this is how it's non-declarative. This is how much about the skill per se you need, and then you have a small slice of the pie that is knowing about things. And knowing about things, you have context. I put a C here for that. You have the context of the situation. You have the theory behind, you understanding how the mechanics of the body, how the cardiovascular system works. Let me put a name here. Maybe historical context, where it comes from, where I learned something, how I developed these ideas I have, but what are my beliefs in regards to this the declarative. This is the semantic side, or the social context of something. What is socially acceptable? What is within the rules of engagement? How to behave? How to proceed? How to proceed. Now, how to proceed? You go back to non-declarative language. Okay, so that's what we focused on in terms of memory. Of course, it's such a complex topic that saying that we learned about memory, we mentioned declarative, non-declarative, episodic memory, but we just cover 2 hours on this topic. We actually just cover what's important there. Then we had ideas on how to communicate, then how to communicate with students, the best way of saying things, how to point things out, how to structure a little bit about how to structure the lesson. And I started there talking about systems and how to see things as systems, and a little bit of behaviorism. We actually cover behaviorism. Here I'm going to talk more about this in the next part. Difference between behaviorism, cognitivism, how to see jiu-jitsu as a system. I gave an example looking at the whole idea of a system, a guard. I put a G here. So within the guard, with the guard, you have different type of guards. Nowadays, I have a spider, put an S, a spider guard, a K guard, a close guard, De La Riva guard. Okay, because starting looking at things in a systematized way, they cover a little bit of mental models, or creating, if it helps you, how to create mental maps on how useful they are, and also afterwards I start to cover when they are no longer useful, and then we need better metaphors and better analogies to solve the problems. But initially you can have a guard and you have a spider guard, but of course within the spider guard you have different things you can do, you see. Then you start creating your mental map, you start systematizing the way you're going to share the information. Okay, so we have sweeps, passing, submissions, for instance, and then sweeps, different type of sweeps there, different type of passings, different type of submissions. And from this idea you can start building a knowledge tree, a mental map, a mental model of anything that you think that it's helpful for you. But going back to talking about declarative and non-declarative memories, and everything here depends on it ultimately depends on your capacity to execute a motor skill. See? Depends on how to do things. Okay? If you don't know how to do things, this whole mental map is, can this mental model support your learning or support your teaching? Yes, it can. But for this to actually support the teaching, you need to know the guard. You need to understand the intricacies. A spider guard or De La Riva guard. Now I start teaching. I went back to teaching De La Riva now, and we are talking this week on passing the De La Riva guard, and there's all the intricacies and all the details that we, the way we are going to approach the passing. And when you approach the passing, the details that the person on their back doing the guard has to take into consideration, and all the different type of situations, and which situations will bring us different type of motor problems that we will need to find a solution. If we actually don't understand the guard in the first place, we can't start with a mental model, because then we are back to arrow here, because then you are just talking about things. About things. It's declarative. It's not a motor skill. These are beliefs, facts, information. Okay? And we are done. This is the part 2. See you in the part 3.